Welcome into another edition of Varsity Voice presented by SFBN here on a Wednesday night. I'm your host, Ari Bluestein. I'm going to make some more predictions. We're down to basically the final regular season in high school football. Some playoff games, but we're really going to look at the final regular season games for a lot of these teams. And we have some very special in-studio guests next on Varsity Voice presented by SFBN. Talking about one final thought. Let's get a big, bold prediction. Welcome back in the Varsity Voice presented by SFBN. I'm your host, Ari Bluestein, and as you can see, I'm joined by two guests from the new Hope-Solebury field hockey team, Sarah Wilson on my far left, and then immediately to my left, Claudia Keppen. Thank you very much for joining me today.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Well, you guys are having a pretty good year, and PhiladelphiaFieldHockey.com always sends us some good players from a really good team. 17-0. 16-0 in the regular season, just had the win today, literally like hours ago, over Springfield Montco to get to the District 1 championship. I'll ask you, Claudia, this is really some kind of season. 15 shutouts. You've only let in one goal. I mean, talk about your year thus far.
Yeah, it's a really great season. We're having a lot of fun. It's actually interesting because this year we only have a few upperclassmen. Our team's mostly younger, so it was like a mystery going into it, but we have a lot of fun together, and they all try really hard, and it's great.
Now, you're a back, so you're in large part responsible, not in large part, but in part responsible for those 15 shutouts. But, we're going to get to Sarah Wilson in just a minute and the career that she's had, but you've got a pretty big game coming up, the District 1 championship against Gwynn and Mercy, the team that beat you in the District 1 finals last year and the team that beat you later in the playoffs. Again, I'll ask you, Sarah, talk about this matchup coming up with Gwynn. A little revenge on your mind?
I mean, I think we can definitely forget about last year because we are a totally different team with a lot of freshmen coming in, no juniors and only 4 seniors, and a lot of sophomores. So I feel like when we come into this game, we should be thinking not about last year, but what we can do this year. Yeah,
and I know your goalie's a sophomore, so really a young team, and of course you guys are two of what do you have, like 4 seniors on the team? So 2 of the 4 seniors right here in studio with Sarah and Claudia. And Sarah, I talked to Claudia about the defense here. You are the engine of that offense. 110 career goals. And as a team, you've scored 138 goals this year. Those are just monstrous numbers for field hockey. Talk about your offense this year.
I think our offense definitely starts with our defense, getting the ball up and moving it really well. And I also am really proud of the underclassmen for stepping up and getting some big-time goals today. Like Lily Smith scored a really good goal today, and I was really proud of her. And that's just only the start of it, though, because we have a lot of sophomores and seniors like Sydney Garvin that will score our goals for us, and I'm really proud of them, I guess. Yeah,
and of course you got to give props to your defense, starting the offense, because Claudia's here, right? No, because the defense really does do a good job. I mean, only 1 goal this year. That's just phenomenal. But we covered your game against Stock Mennonite back on the Philadelphia Field Hockey Game of the Week, and I wanted to show you guys a couple clips, especially with Sarah scoring some goals. We're going to go to that right now, and I want you guys to look and see what Sarah Wilson can do on the field hockey field. We're going to take a look at this. So here you go. Here's Sarah making her move up here. Oh man, goalie had no chance. So do you have like an array of moves that you use on the goalkeepers? Because there was one right there.
I think I just use my instinct.
And you are playing some defense. Claudia, you got to be impressed with that. I mean, I thought this was great because you had a great transition to get up, and then look at that. Wow. Is that called a slap shot now in field hockey? Is that technically called and there you go, celebrating 8-0 victory over Doc.
I don't know. I think it was just a hit.
Yeah, okay, yeah. We'll go with that, just a hit. But you can see a little bit of what Sarah Wilson can do on the field. Now, getting back to, you guys as a team, obviously the individual accomplishments are great. But you're in the 1A bracket. We talked about you have the District 1 championship against Gwynedd. Now, even if you don't win, you do continue on. What do you think, Claudia? Is this team, even though it's young, have a chance to make a state run?
Yeah, I mean, even though we do have a lot of young people, like last year we went to states too, so we have, most of our team has experienced what it's like to be at states, so we are pretty prepared and we're helping our freshmen become prepared. And yeah, we're working hard this week to step it up and try and be ready for the competition that's to come.
Yeah, and I'm sure you want that District 1 championship,
Oh,
right?
yes.
Yeah. It's interesting because even though you don't, like, okay, if you lose the District 1 championship, which you're not, by the way, but even if you lose, you continue on, but I'm sure you still want that title, especially as seniors, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta want revenge on Gwynedd, but that should be a really fun game on Friday. Now, you're seniors, so we have to talk about college a little bit. And Sarah, you're committed to Nyack College for Division II basketball. Talk about that decision.
This year it was really tough for me to decide which sport to play, especially. But I think I have the most fun playing basketball and I feel the most comfortable on the court, so I decided to play basketball.
Now, we saw you play field hockey, but let me tell you that Sarah is a heck of a point guard, and I think you're going to do good things. But Claudia, I mean, you play field hockey with her every day. This girl has 110 career goals. Do you think she's nuts for not playing field hockey?
Oh, definitely.
I love that. Now, Claudia, you're not committed yet, and you're really going to focus on the academic side. So
Yes.
talk about your college process. You know, you're a senior. You know, time's ticking a little bit. You have a little bit of time. But what are you looking to do in college, at the higher education, and where are you looking to go?
Yeah, I'm looking to study chemistry, probably. I've been mostly decided on that, so that's helping me try and figure out exactly which college
That's
I
a
want
start.
to go to.
There you go.
Yeah, it's very difficult, the college process. But yeah, just the Penn State I looked at, like University of Virginia, just a couple of ones. It's a bunch.
Let's do one thing at a time. Let's win the state championship, and then we'll figure out where Claudia's going to college. Okay? All right, that sounds good. We got to get our priorities straight, right? Well, I mean, I'm sure that both of you guys will have success wherever you go. And you know, Sarah, even though you're not playing field hockey again, I know that she's a heck of a point guard. You're going to do great things at Nyack. And the reason you guys are here today is because of PhilaFieldHockey.com. They do a great job covering Philadelphia area field hockey, not only high school, but they also look at college as well. And we have a great partnership with them where we help out with the game of the week, provide the video highlights, and of course we have great guests from student athletes from those great teams that appear on the show. So I'll let you guys talk about PhilaFieldHockey.com and what they do for your sport and even for your team specifically.
Yeah, it's great. Most of our team follows their Twitter just because we always get excited about field hockey and we're sending the tweets in the group chat. So that's great. They always they keep us up to date with all our competition or even people that we don't play. It's just fun to update ourselves. And we were lucky to be featured for a game of the week one time, which was really fun.
Yeah, I mean, that had to be awesome, right?
Yeah.
Right, Sarah?
Yeah, it had to be because during the season, usually it was becoming like a normal thing, like beating teams, and it gave us something to look forward to, I guess, to beat Doc, and especially having it featured and stuff. Yeah,
no, I was actually there capturing the video, so that was a lot of fun for me. I got to see how you guys played, and looking at the great season that you had, and 17-0, keep it up. So good luck against Gwynedd on Friday. Again, Claudia Keppen to my left and Sarah Wilson on the end. Thank you so much for joining us here on Varsity Voice.
Thank you. Yeah.
And before we go to commercial break, we showed you a little clip of what Sarah can do while we're going to show you the full video highlights of that Philadelphia Hockey Game of the Week between Doc Mennonite and New Hope-Solebury. That and a commercial break, and then we'll have football next on Varsity Voice.
Hi, I'm Tommy Green, former pitcher for the Philadelphia Phillies. When I was in high school, it was very important to me to show scouts what I could do. My friends at Payroll Service Solutions are huge supporters of high school sports and the Sports Fan Base Network. If you're a small to medium-sized business in need of a payroll company, contact Payroll Service Solutions. Not only will they take care of you, they will continue to support the community. For more information, contact Payroll Service Solutions at 215-624-0922 or 866-PAY-EASY.
Pennsylvania is a big state, and there's great high school football action happening each week to discuss.
Looks deep, got a man, touchdown.
Join me, Richie Bluestein, and my fellow analysts, Corey Sharp and Mike Palmer, on In the Trenches on the Sports Fan Base Network. In the Trenches, the only show dedicated to all 12 PIAA districts in Pennsylvania, coming to you every Monday live on Facebook. Tune in for information, stats, analysis, and some great previews and predictions. Be sure to submit questions and comments using hashtag #InTheTrenches or comment live during the show. So be sure to watch In the Trenches on the SFBN for all you need to know about high school football in the Keystone State. I'm Richie Bluestein, reminding you, stay classy and be good to each other.
Welcome back in the Varsity Voice presented by SFBN. I'm your host, Ari Bluestein. And again, a big thank you to Claudia Keppen and Sarah Wilson of New Hope-Solebury Field Hockey. And thank you to PhilaFieldHockey.com for arranging them to come into our studio. We've had a great partnership all year with PhilaFieldHockey.com. And best of luck to New Hope-Solebury in their game on Friday against Gwynn and Mercy for the District 1 2A title. Now it's time to get into some football. And first off, I have to gloat a little bit. I'm killing it in these football predictions. 20-4 overall, 5-1 last week. I had West Deptford and win in a thrilling game. I had the semi-upset in Coatesville over Downingtown East, which we talked about on In the Trenches here on Facebook Live on Monday. I had Penridge and Malvern Prep, both with easy wins, and I had St. Joe's Prep. My only incorrect one was Garnet Valley lost at home to Springfield Delco. I knew that would be a very close game, and all those teams out there, Garnet Valley, Marple Newtown, Springfield, Haverford High, they all really kind of are very competitive. So not surprised at all, but I went with the home team, and the road team proved me wrong. So good job, Springfield Delco. So 5-1 last week, 20-4 overall. So I've got some pretty good games this week. They're all on Friday night, and we're going to start with two in South Jersey. And the first one will be Camden Catholic at Holy Spirit Friday night at 7 p.m. And Camden Catholic, they have been phenomenal all year. They were down big to Shawnee, 21-3, came back and won. And in fact, I picked Shawnee in that game, so I was wrong on Camden Catholic then. Holy Spirit, we didn't make a prediction on it, but knocked off St. Augustine. Pretty big rivalry game there, so Holy Spirit looks really good. You got Holy Spirit in non-public Group 2 in South Jersey, and Camden Catholic in non-public Group 3. The game is at Holy Spirit down the shore. I'm going with Holy Spirit in this one. I know I picked against Camden Catholic again last time, but I'm going to pick against them again. I know that the Irish are not going to love me for it, but I'm going with Holy Spirit, the home team. This is really a toss-up, and really both of these teams, I think, could potentially make some noise in the playoffs in their respective non-public groups. Holy Spirit might have a little bit of an easier path in Group 2. Camden Catholic's going to have a tougher path dealing with the North Jersey squads in non-public Group 3, but I'm going with Holy Spirit in this one, but this one could really go either way. Let's go to a public game now in South Jersey. Timber Creek at Williamstown, Friday night at 7 p.m. And you know, you look at this game, and obviously you know Timber Creek. Quarterback Devin Leary, phenomenal player. The Chargers are one of the best programs around. Williamstown just defeated Shawnee, another team that beat Shawnee, and I know I'm talking about Shawnee losing a lot, but they're still a pretty good team. And Williamstown, at this point, they're in South Jersey Public Group 5. They will likely make the playoffs. This is a home game, hosting Timber Creek. I got to go with Timber Creek, though. I mean, I think Timber Creek should take care of business in this one. I wanted to mention Williamstown, though, because I really love the way they're playing, and that win against Shawnee was huge. So kudos to Williamstown. They're home here against Timber Creek, but I just don't think they have enough ammo to beat the high-powered Chargers. All right, let's go to a couple games in Suburban 1 here. And these are all in Bucks County, all not too far from each other. The first one is Neshaminy at Pennsbury, Friday night, 7 p.m. This is a big one. Big rivalry game. The schools are not far from each other. You just go from Neshaminy up Route 1 North, Fairless Hills, near like the Oxford Valley Mall area. Pennsbury's right there. Huge rivalry. Both of these teams are playoff bound. They will be in the District 1 6A bracket when it's released on Monday next week. But this game is always played at the end of the year, and I'm going with the home team. I'm going with the Falcons here. Neshaminy, really strong team, only one loss on the year. Pennsbury, I believe, only has one loss as well. They might have two. I'm not 100% sure on that, but this is a huge rivalry game. It could go either way, and I always say Neshaminy is better at home at Heartbreak Ridge as opposed to on the road. Can they win on the road? Yes, but I think the Falcons win at home here with that ground and pound offense. Another game in Suburban 1, also in the Bucks County area. You've got Truman out of Levittown at Ben Salem, Friday night at 7 p.m. Interesting matchup here. You've got Truman, who right now, if the playoffs were to start today, they would be in the District 1 6A tournament. They're in the top 16. Ben Salem would be out. I believe they're in the 20 range. So this is a big game for Ben Salem. They're at home. They pretty much need to win to get a shot at the District 1 6A bracket. Even if they win, they might not get in depending on how the power points play out. Truman, if they lose this game, maybe they still have a shot to get in because of their season thus far. However, I don't think Truman is losing this game. I think the Tigers win this one. Ben Salem, a great story this year. They had a great start. They've lost some games recently. They're under 500 right now. I think Truman wins this game and ultimately will solidify their playoff spot in the District 1 6A bracket. Let's go to the Philadelphia Catholic League now. Our game of the week last week was LaSalle and St. Joe's Prep. Well, this game is pretty darn close to that. LaSalle at Archbishop Wood will be played at William Tennant High School in Warminster Friday night, 7 p.m. LaSalle, they're coming off a loss to St. Joe's Prep, their only league loss this year. Archbishop Wood, they lost to St. Joe's Prep back on September 15th. That's their only league loss of the year. Obviously, something has to give when you look at both of these teams. LaSalle 6A, Archbishop Wood 5A, but for the regular season and the way the PCL is aligned, they face off. I'm going to go with LaSalle in this one. I know Archbishop Wood is at home. I know it's the last game of the season, and Steve Devlin does a phenomenal job over there at Wood. But I just feel like with Isaiah Jones getting more healthy, it was his first game back last game, and they are coming off the loss to St. Joe's Prep. I feel like they're going to bounce back and get a tough win on the road against Archbishop Wood in this one. Finally, we come to the private schools here in the Interac. Our SFBN Game of the Week, which can be seen right here on Facebook Live, the Haverford School at Malvern Prep. Huge rivalry here. Now, uncharacteristically, these teams are under 500 this year. Malvern Prep, 3-4 overall, but they're 2-0 in league play in the Interac. Haverford School, 1-6 overall. That's right, 1-6. I don't remember the Haverford School ever going 1-6, and they're 0-2 in league play. So it's a little shocking that the Fords are playing at such a low level of football. Malvern Prep, they were probably the favorite to win the Interac this year. Yes, they're 3-4, but they played a lot of good out-of-state teams in non-league play. And I think the Friars will keep rolling here. They'll stay undefeated in league play with a win over Haverford School. On paper, just looking at the way the season has gone, the Friars should be heavily favored. But throw those records out the window. Huge rivalry game between the Friars and the Fords. Make sure you do not miss it on Facebook Live right here, and you can access the page by going directly to www.sfbn.live. So again, to review my picks, Holy Spirit over Camden Catholic, Timber Creek over Williamstown, Pennsbury over Neshaminy, Truman over Ben Salem, LaSalle over Wood, and Malvern Prep over the Haverford School. That's it for my predictions. We'll see how I do. 20-4 overall going into the final week of what essentially is the regular season, even though some leagues have started playoffs at this point. When we come back here on Varsity Voice, we'll tell you about what's coming up here on the Sports Fan Base Network, and we'll wrap it up here on Varsity Voice presented by SFBN.
Hi, I'm Ari Bluestein, former pitcher for the Philadelphia Phillies. In my experience in Major League Baseball, I know how important it is for high school athletes to gain exposure. My friends at Payroll Service Solutions are huge supporters of high school sports and the Sports Fan Base Network. If you are a small to medium-sized business in need of a payroll company, contact Payroll Service Solutions. Not only will they take care of you, they will continue to support the community. For more information, contact Payroll Service Solutions at 215-624-0922 or 866-PAY.
Hey, you.
Who, me?
Yes, you. You like pro sports?
Yeah.
You like college sports?
Of course.
You like high school sports?
I guess.
Maybe you just don't know much about them.
Hey, voice in the sky.
Huh?
Where can I go to learn more about Philadelphia area high school athletics?
Just watch Varsity Voice every Wednesday on Facebook Live at 7 p.m.
Hi, I'm Tommy Green, former pitcher for the Philadelphia Phillies. When I was in high school, it was very important to me to show scouts what I could do. My friends at Payroll Service Solutions are huge supporters of high school sports and the Sports Fan Base Network. If you're a small to medium-sized business in need of a payroll company, contact Payroll Service Solutions. Not only will they take care of you, they will continue to support the community. For more information, contact Payroll Service Solutions at 215-624-0922 or 866-PAY-EASY.
Welcome back to Varsity Voice presented by SFBN. I'm your host, Ari Bluestein. Thank you for joining us here on a Wednesday night, and I hope you enjoyed my predictions. And make sure you tune in next Wednesday. It will be November 1st, our first show in November, and we'll see how I did. And I'm going to make some more predictions, and they're going to be a little bit more juicy because we're going to be talking some playoff matchups, especially in that District 1 bracket, both in 6A and 5A. Should really be some intriguing matchups. So make sure you tune in next Wednesday for another edition of Varsity Voice. And we also want to tell you, of course, about some of our other shows here on Facebook Live. First off, if you love the football predictions that I just did, then you're going to love In the Trenches. Hosted by Richie Bleiweiss, co-hosts Corey Sharp and Mike Palmer do a great job of breaking down the entire state of Pennsylvania. And then, of course, the brackets are going to come out basically on Monday. So they will look at those matchups, especially in District 1, but they'll look at the playoff matchups across the entire state. That's on Monday at 7 p.m. in the Trenches. Then coming up tomorrow, we have our soccer show, In the Goal, hosted by Steven Schreiber and joined by co-host and analyst Jack Kapp and Ryan Haney, the head coach for Archbishop Bryan Boys Soccer. They're going to take a look at what's going on in the world of PA soccer. They always like to do a focus on District 1 and the Philadelphia Public and Catholic League, but they also look at District 2, District 3, and other teams out in the Central PA and Western PA. So make sure you don't miss In the Goal, hosted by Steven Schreiber, joined by Jack Kapp and Ryan Haney. As we mentioned on the last segment, our SFBN Game of the Week is the Haverford School at Malvern Prep. You can see that right here on Facebook Live, right here on our page. Game time is about 7 p.m. We'll go live at about 6:55 on Friday night. Mike Samsel and Mike Mataraki have the call in that Interact showdown. Also, if you love the shows and you can't get enough of them, but you can't watch them while you're in the car or while you're at work, then make sure you subscribe to our podcast on iTunes. That's right. SFBN is on iTunes right now. You can hear all of our shows from PA and our shows in Rhode Island as well. If you want to check out some Rhode Island high school sports, that's available on iTunes on the podcasts app. And then finally, in addition to our shows, in addition to our broadcasts, in addition to our podcasts, we have a lot of great content on our website, www.thesfbn.com. We have articles, photos, videos, sports information. In fact, it's going up today that the Philadelphia Public League brackets have been released. We are the only website that will have those brackets for you and those updates. So make sure you check out our website. A lot of great information about Pennsylvania, South Jersey, and Rhode Island high school sports. So until next Wednesday, November 1st, thank you for joining me here on Varsity Voice presented by SFBN. And again, one more shout out to PhilaFieldHockey.com and our guest from New Hope-Solebury for joining us here in studio. Thank you for watching Varsity Voice. Have a great night.